Hello, all you YouTubers
Hi.
and crafters and everybody that likes to watch fun
All
builds.
you crazy builders like us.
We're back again.
Yay.
We've seen that a lot of people like the builds that we've made, so we have another one for you, which some of you might have seen part of it in the other videos.
Probably so.
Probably so.
Yeah, if not, we're hoping you'll go back and rewatch that video.
Yes. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. It's a lot of fun. It's a little more work, a little more time consuming. But after it's done, I think a lot of your neighbors and stuff are really going to like this too if you build it. Ours, we put on the inside of our house on our French doors. But with this build, you can put it on your front door if you wanted to too.
Yeah, scare all the adults on Halloween, and then open your door for the kids so you don't scare the little ones.
Yes.
You don't scare. I know you don't. You don't. Okay.
So we hope you enjoy this build.
Okay, this is the build we're going to do today. This scary witch that looks like she's coming out from the glass, and she's offering you this poison apple just as a offering to let her come into your home. The glass and everything we'll show you how to do on our video. The wart, and she's even got a shoe down here. So this is the build we're going to do today. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy this one. This is a fun build, and it's not super hard. You guys can do it.
Okay, so I'll just give you guys a little bit of a close-up here so you can see the details. So we just took paint and it made it look like she was breaking through the glass. And here's her witch's hand. And here's this apple, which we will show you how to do, which my wife did. And look how cool that is. The evil apple. If you look down here, you can see her foot. So you can see it looks like she's breaking through the glass to enter the house.
Yep, we'll show you everything from how to put it on to how we made it. So
Exactly.
stick with us and follow along.
So if you're interested in this build, follow along.
Hit like and subscribe.
And hit the like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. Okay, all you crazy YouTubers and DIYers and all the people that enjoy stuff like this, let's get started.
Okay, so to start off today's project, I'm going to tell you what some of the materials you're going to be needing, just to recap. If you missed any of how we do paper mache, if you haven't watched our other videos, you can, or if you have watched them, you can fast forward this part. But so we got some glue and water, just some Elmer School glue and water mixed up together, some aluminum foil, some newspaper that we're going to tear into strips to make our paper and glue mixture, some paper mache paste, and I did link that in one of the videos. I'll link it again in the description box below. A foam head to make the witch's face mold out of. Plastic wrap, which I don't have out, but just your regular clear plastic wrap. Glue sticks, but for this project I would use Gorilla Glue sticks. Some masking tape, some cardboard, and you can see the tape on this you already made. Some paints, some just acrylic paints, something to put your paint on, some paint brushes, and some water.
Yes, sure.
And then also a little bit of clay if you want. You don't have to have clay. This is homemade clay in both of these. This is not what's in this air dry clay does not work very well. If you can get it to work, more power to you, for sure. Okay, and the reason, I'm just going to show you really quick why this cardboard's sitting here like this. This is going to be into the mold, part of this. So we're going to tape this on like this. And then we're going to cover this whole thing in plastic wrap, which I'll show you. That's why. So when you do this, you're going to need to tape it to your mold. That's going to be your first step to do. Okay. So I will let my husband step over here and show you a little bit about the hands. And I will get started making this, and then I'll just explain what I did.
Okay.
Oh, and some shortening. You'll need some shortening.
Yes, you want to put your shortening on your styrofoam head first. So here's we are with the hand so far. You can take aluminum foil, just cut out the shape of your hand. And then
What are you looking for?
Then after you got your hand cut out, just a shape, you can take your aluminum foil, crunch it up, and you're going to insert a piece on each finger and the thumb. Then you're going to hot glue them on there. Then you're going to take some foil and just crunch it into little round balls, and you're going to fill in the center part of your hand. Okay? Then, when you start crunching it all up, you should end up with something like this. Then from here, you can shape your fingers to wherever you want them. Like this one will be shaped to go around the apple. The other hand will shape it how we want it to look like it's coming through the door. Okay? So I guess the next step is I'm going to finish off this other hand, and then I'll bend them to the shapes that we want ours on our witch, and I'll be back to show you from there.
Okay, so I wanted to show you a little bit about how this is supposed to look. I took this piece of cardboard and taped it on. If your tape doesn't want to hold, just wrap it all the way around without ripping it so that the two back ends meet, and then put your piece of little bit of hot glue on there to hold it. And what you want to do after that is just shortening the whole head and your cardboard piece, and just give it a good decent amount of shortening, and then you're going to wrap it, and I'll show you that, all in plastic wrap.
Okay. So as you can see on this styrofoam head, my wife's got the plastic wrap around it. And why we put the plastic wrap around it, so when we make the mold, it'll pop off this foam. And on this one, like I say, you have to add your collar. And you just, the whole head and this collar is all going to be, has the paper on it and the paper mache on it. And why you have this collar, so when you sit it against the wall, it'll be at the height you want. It'll be at the angle. So this is the angle we did, but you could take this cardboard collar and make your head go up more, or turn to the left or turn to the right. Okay, so that's where we're at on this. So next you can start putting the paper strips, which is the water with the glue, Elmer's glue in the water, and start putting paper strips all over this. Then we'll dry that. Then you can come back and start doing the mud on it. Okay, and here we are with our hands again. I wanted to show you. So after we formed them, and we put the pieces in between like I showed you, then you can take a bigger piece of tin foil and just go around the whole hand. So I filled in all that where we added the pieces in, okay? like on this one, I had to add some tape in between the fingers and stuff just to make sure it's all down good, so you know it's easier when we start mudding it. It ain't getting caught in between the tin foil. Another piece I wanted to show you. Obviously, you're going to have a piece of arm on the one hand that's going to hold the apple. See, so it's going to make you a form, and it's going to sit here, then you're going to hot glue it onto your hand, so you can have your hand. And how you do that is you take your own forearm, wrap the tinfoil around, and then up, depending on how far you want your arm to be stretching out off the wall. So now I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to glue the arm on. Now I'm going to bend these fingers to the shape that I want. This can grind the apple. You guys might want to put something else, but then just get it this far. Then take your fingers and bend them around whatever object it is that you want her to be holding. Okay? And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start mudding these. Now, after we get a little bit of mud on there, on both hands. And my wife will have the paper on the...
Show them a little bit of this.
Oh, yeah. My wife will have the paper.
Here, do a couple strips maybe.
My wife will have the paper on the foam head. So, the way I like to do it, you know, everybody might have their own technique, is water purses. Stiff. Okay.
Yeah. There's some water right
So they take your water with the Elmer's glue in it, and just put a little bit at a time. Don't go too far, because that's about as much as you want of paper at a time. And why you want to put it on here and the paper is because then it gives it a second in between, and the two pieces will start drying a little bit, and they tack better, we realize, faster than if it's really wet.
there. Yeah, I've done it the other way. So
Now I'm going to take
fast.
the paper strips. Add your glue onto your paper strip. I think I got two of them here. Okay. Then you're just going to take your paper strip that's got glue on it. Your head's got glue on it. You're going to put it on there. Take your paintbrush and just lightly touch it to make sure that it's stuck everywhere. Okay. Then you'll do a little bit more, and you'll just keep doing this till you're all the way around the whole head. Like I say, and including this collar. Don't forget to make sure the paper mache is on your collar,
On
because
the bottom part.
on the bottom here, because when you cut this can be a full mold. When you cut it off, when we're done, you want this whole head to be there and this collar included.
What
Okay.
about underneath the collar?
Yes, and then on the back side here, you're gonna mud this and paper it in too on the bottom of the head. So, what we need to do is come back and just add another little piece of cardboard. I forgot to put it there, so you have a flat spot, so when you put it to the other piece, it'll be able to stick to the door. Okay, so after we get this done, we'll
So
we'll
you
come
probably
back
wanna
and
do
put a
that
piece
first,
there.
then.
Okay. So this is where we're at with the head, right? Now you can see it. So it's just wrapped in the paper, okay, with the water and glue just diluted down and put on like we showed you. And it dries, and this is where you're at on that step, okay? So the next step on this, we're going to start putting the paper mache mud on it. Okay, so set this over here. Okay, here's our hands. Okay. So this is where you should be. Okay, we made the hands like I showed you. Okay, we put the tape around to help keep the tinfoil on in between the fingers. Okay, what I forgot to show you after, you want to cut a piece of cardboard. It's a little bit bigger than the hand, see? Then you're going to hot glue it onto the cardboard so you end up like this. What we're going to do is we're going to take the paper and the water and the glue, and we're going to go around the whole hand and down onto this cardboard and around it. Okay, that's going to help hold this cardboard to the hand. Plus, that's going to help when we put the paper mache, it just goes on a little bit easier and it dries a little faster because it has something to dry to. You can do it over the tin foil. It just takes a lot longer to dry. Okay, so there's the first hand. Okay, here's our second hand. Okay, we put the cardboard on it. We hot glued it to it like I showed you. And then I went ahead and I formed my hands to where we want them before we glue anything or before we paper mache anything. See, this is the one that's going to hold the apple. Okay. This one is one that's going to be against the door. Looking like she's coming through. Okay. So, see if I forgot anything. You got this. I forgot on that. Next up on the head, like I said, is we're going to start putting the paper mache. Oh, the foot. Now you can shape your witch's foot however you want. I'm just showing you an example of how we do ours, okay? So you got your cardboard. So I just made a basic shape. See, and this is the back side. This is the side right here that is going against the wall to hold on your either your window or your door, wherever you put it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take tin foil, I'm going to wrap around this cardboard and down underneath and around and give this the shape I want my foot to look. And on the end, make sure your tin foil is long enough. I'm going to just make a curly shape on the end of the foot to look like a witch's foot. So her shoe has a curl on it. Then I will take do the same thing with this. I'm going to put the paper over it, the water and the glue, dry it. And this one you're going to the paper, the water and glue, and you'll have to just kind of mess with it and do it a couple times because you want to keep the weight down. So this is not going to have mud on it. This will stay just the paper, the water and glue, and you do it a couple times around until you get where it looks nice and dry it. Then you're going to paint right over that paper. Okay, so this foot will stay really, really light. The hands, we're going to do the same thing, but we want to put a little bit of the paper mache for the strength. But just a real light coat, just get as light as you can, because you want to try to keep all the weight down as much as possible on this build, so when you Velcro these to the wall, okay, they'll stay. The head will be Velcroed to the wall too, or the door. But that one you have to skim coat and stuff, and it will hold. You just have to have a bigger backdrop to it. That's why if you look at ours, it's got the whole shoulders. That because the easy spots to put enough as a Velcro strip on the back to keep it held to the door. Okay. So next, like I said, we're going to paper mud these hands. We're going to put the tinfoil paper over the shoe. We're going to go ahead and get the head skimmed in with paper mache. And then we'll be back. Okay. So, this is where we're at. So we got the head. We had it, we put the paper and stuff on it, I showed you that. Okay, now we've mudded it twice. The next thing is we're going to let this dry overnight. Make sure it's good and dry. Then we're going to cut this mold off. Okay? And here's our hands I was showing you. Okay. Now what I've done, just turned around and took the paper with the water and the glue and went around the hands. So these are ready to put mud on now. Then I'll let them dry overnight. So I was showing you the foot. We cut out the foot. Right? And we glued it together, which I showed you. And we took tin foil, like I was telling you, and we put over it. Made a little piece on the front for a shoe. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put the paper over it, the water and the glue. Probably 2 coats to make sure that it's good. Then we can just paint this foot. It'll be ready to go. Okay? So, I guess the next thing is I gotta get these hands mudded so they can dry. Put the paper over that foot. And then we'll be back to show you more. Okay. They're on, right?
It's red.
Okay. So where we're at, here's your hands. We went from the tin foil to forming the hands, to putting the paper on them, to putting the paper mache on them. So, you should end up with something like this. Okay? Now these hands just have to finish drying until tomorrow. And here's our foot. Same thing, we went from the cardboard to the tin foil to the paper with the water and glue. You should end up with something like this. Now this foot, I'm just going to put one more roll of paper on it to fine tune a little bit. Seems how we're not putting paper mache on this. And then your foot will be ready to paint. Okay, here's your apple. Okay, it's just tin foil. My wife made it. And the funny thing is you can take a real apple, that's what she did, and you can just take the tin foil and put around a real apple to make your apple. So now, she'll take it from here. Did you paper mache this or did you just mud it?
The real other apple I did with the shortening, if they have a real apple.
But after you're done, did you put paper mache or did you put paper and glue?
Paper and glue.
Okay. So my wife says next step she just used paper with the water and glue, put around it, made sure it looked right, dried it nice, and then painted it how she wanted so it stayed lightweight to sit inside the hand. So, hold on. Where's your face? I'll cut it for the show real quick there too. Okay. So the head that my wife was working on, remember, it was all together. It was foam. And she showed you how she put the plastic in the paper, and then she took the paper mache after that and put over it, smoothed it off nice. It dried. Then she cut it in half. Okay? Now it's in 2 pieces. So now, the next step is she's going to cut out the eyes. What we're going to do, after she cuts out the eyes, is we're going to take hot glue and we're going to make eyes to put inside here and then paint them. So when it's all done and together, on the back right here, you're going to get you a light, cut it out, and you can put one of those little battery lights from Family Dollar or Walmart, whatever. You can turn on, and her eyes on the front right here will light up. Okay, so that's where she's at. That's the next step there. So, tomorrow, after everything dries, I will paint the hands. So they're ready. I'll paint the foot. My wife is working, like I say, she's working on the head, and then she'll come back and show you how to put the nose and all that after we cut out the eyes and everything, and how to, just take your paper mache, and just glue it back together. Then you put just a little bit of mud over that, so that it just be formed back together after she cuts out the eyes and the piece on the back, like I told you, for your light. Okay? So now we have to just let this stuff dry until tomorrow, and then we'll be back and we'll go again. Okay. So here we are, it's the next day. The hands have dried. It's all good now. Okay. We got our foot that I showed you, it's all dried. You can go ahead and paint that. We got our apple. And it's just made out of the paper. So it's ready to paint. Then we'll make a little stem out of tin foil. And now it'll be ready to go. Okay, here we are with our mask. We got our two pieces like I showed you, they go together. The next step is you're going to take a pencil and you're going to put your eyes how you want your eyes.
I can do that.
Yeah, you can. Here's just a rough idea how you can put your eyes. Because we're going to cut these out. Okay? And you'll leave these sketches here because you can cut them out where you want them. Because we're going to make the eyes out of hot glue. And then we're going to glue them after we make them and paint them into the back side of your mask. Okay? Before you put it together. They got to be made and put in before you put the two pieces together. So that'll be the next step that my wife's working on. And something else I wanted to show you. When you first cut these masks apart, it's still pliable. And when it's pliable, that's when you want to hurry and cut out your eyes so that your mask doesn't do some wonky thing where you have to sit there and place it now to adjust it. But you can still do it. You're just going to have to hold it and then have something big, put a couple spots of hot glue to hold it together. So if you do it when it's still a bit moist, it's a little bit easier. It's not that it still can't be done. You just have to fight it a little bit, because we didn't do that. We got too excited, too anxious building this again to show you guys. Then, after you got your eyes cut out, your homemade eyes made and glued in, and you're going to put this back together, you can take your paper and go around your seam with the water and glue. Let that dry, and then put a light skin color your paper mache mud back around so you can't see how you cut it apart. And another thing, you might want to take the time while you got this apart, you can hold on to the back of the mask easier, and go ahead and get the light that you want, the bare light you want, trace around it, and cut this out while it's easier to hold on to before you put it all together. Okay? So the next step is I'm going to start painting the hands, make some fingernails, put on them, paint up the apple, put the little stem on it, while my wife works on cutting out this face, the eyes, and the back of the mask. And then I'll be back and we'll take some hot glue and show you how we're going to make some eyes to glue into the back of this mask. Okay? So see you in a sec.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm back. Anyways, so what I wanted to show you really quick is I got the eyes cut out on this, and I just cut mine like in a point. I did get my back cut out for my little light, and I'm going to show you. This little tea light's all we are using. You can use whatever you want. You could even use some string lights if you wanted to that are battery operated. Anyway, this will poke in at the back. Let me put it in really quick. Like that. So you can just turn it on. It's really, you can't really hardly see it, but you will when it's dark. But if you do have a brighter light, or whatever you want to use, go ahead and use that. Definitely is easier when this is a little more pliable to work with. Just not set overnight, because once it hardens, it's so hard. See how it is. Anyway, the thing is about the head, okay, where we made the mistake and my husband was talking about it. We got talking and he's done this. So when this is like this, and if you need to, I'm going to try something, because my husband tried it on his, I'm going to just take a spray bottle of warm water and lightly spray this and see if it makes it come out more, since it's already all set. But yeah, you definitely want to cut out your eyes in that, but see how off this is? So anyway, we're going to do that, and then like he said, I'm going to go ahead and take the paper. But I wanted to show you that about the spray bottle, and I'll let you know if that works out better, if we can do that, and it'll just make it more pliable so my neck and everything comes down to get right. Alright, I just wanted to let you guys know that, and we'll be back in a little bit.
Okay. So here's where we're at. The wife's got her head glued back together, as you can see. And she put the eyes in that we made, okay, out of just hot glue. And then she painted them, okay. And you do the dots in pure black, and then the other, when you put it from the back side, when you paint these, dilute your paint so it gives it color but not too much, so when you put your light in, it'll shine through and you'll be able to see your eyes light up. Okay, on the back she's got the hole mirror. She shows you where your light goes in. Okay, here's the thing on this one. When you do this mold, you kind of take it off when it's still just a little bit wet, and what you do is you take it over and you hot glue it together. Well, you want to try to take it out of this mold when it's still fresh, so you can hurry and cut out the eyes where you want them, and glue your fake ones in, so have them ready, and then hurry and cut your hole in the back, and your mold will still be wet enough that you can put it together and hot glue it, and the shape will still be perfect. So this goes together right, okay?
Yeah, don't wait.
If you let it dry, like my wife did on this one, because she didn't know, like I did the other one.
Yeah, don't.
She let it dry all the way, and in a lot of ways, I guess that's good. It's easier to hold and do this stuff. But the negative is this mold flexes.
More negative.
Okay, when it's in two pieces. And so it's a lot harder to get your shape of the two pieces to match back together.
Like if you did my mistake, I tried to use, it's just really hard. Like I use masking tape with hot glue just to try to strap it on the side there.
Yes.
But don't do that. If you can't, just don't.
If it does happen, just get another person to help you and just slowly start at the top and line it where it needs to be. A little hot glue.
I had to make sure the neck was lined up.
Let it, do a drop, let it dry, and just kind of keep flexing it around and putting hot glue to go around to get it to here. So that's a mistake that my wife made that she wanted me to show you on this, okay? It's not that it can't be done, you're just going to fight it more.
Yes.
Okay? So now as you can see, she's starting to put her paper with the water and glue, and she'll do it all the way around to cover up the seam, and then she'll put a little bit of mud back over this, and you'll never even know that this mold was took apart.
Yeah, if you do make this mistake and you have to fight it, like my husband was saying, make sure your neck's lined up first.
Yes.
Even if you have gaps in the sides, Like this other side right here?
Yes, because
you can fix that.
this section right here has to line up right. So when we glue our piece of cardboard inside here, which we'll do, we'll show you, because that's what's going to hold this part all good and solid. So when it's up on the wall, it has that nice piece of cardboard that you've glued in there, okay? And that's what your Velcro strip, well, this is glued to another piece of cardboard, which we'll show you, and then it'll glue to the wall. But anyways, this has got to be lined up right.
Yes.
So
I started at the head. And
when you put the cardboard in there, it'll be right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Let's see that and I'll work on it. Sorry guys, just don't wait. Don't do what I did.
Okay, here's our hands. We got our board on the back, see? So when it sits against the wall and you got your Velcro here, it'll hold. Okay? Here's how our hands turned out. See? And then we made the little spider, and she's holding a little spider in her hand. And you can do yours how you want. We wanted ours a little more creepy, so we made it a little more bumpy. And put a little spider and stuff. But this is just our idea. You might have your own idea how you want to do yours. Okay, here's our other hand. We just painted it up how we wanted it. Okay, then this hand's the other one's going to be sitting against the wall too, you know. Like yay or whatever, when it's up against the wall. And this will have the Velcro on the back side.
So cool.
Okay, so that's where we're at. We just wanted to show you where we're at and the mistakes not to do.
Yes.
You know, the more you do this, the more you learn, and so we just wanted to show you guys so you don't do the same mistakes. And if you do, just take your time. You'll both fix it. It'll just be a little bit more frustrating.
Yeah, but you can get it. You can.
Okay? So the next step is she's going to get that mudded in.
With some paper mache.
With some paper mache, and then she'll show you how to make the nose and how we do our eyebrows and all that. And while she's doing that, I'm going to start working on the backboards that go behind the witch, and
oh, your foot.
I need to finish painting this foot. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we're back. So here's my wife's witch. And here's her little glass eyes. Here's her chin. And her big nose that she put on this one. And this is just done out of a piece of cardboard and aluminum foil. And the chin the same way, it's cardboard. And then just aluminum foil. Then after they're on there, you just put your paper mache mud on there and let it dry. How you do it, make this so much easier. You take a piece of cardboard, you bend it, you stick it over where the nose is going to be. Then you add tin foil to it. So you end up with something like this. You're going to take tin foil, you can put it over the cardboard. Bend it around, see, you have your foil, and you can shape your nose any size you want. There's the cardboard on the back side. You want to make sure this cardboard, or this aluminum foil, goes over that cardboard on each side. Okay? Then you can put hot glue through here, then you can bend it, and you're going to stick it on to your mold. See? And then you can bend that foil to wherever you want.
Same thing with the chin.
You can do the same thing on the chin. You can take a piece of cardboard, cut it to how you want it, glue it on with the aluminum foil around it, then you leave extra, then you can shape it to what you want. Then you can take your mud and just put right over that.
Well, I did the
That's how you end up with this.
And for me, I did the paper and glue first. But
And you can have paper over that cardboard too if you want. However you want to do that.
yeah.
So, see how we showed you how there's glass eyes? Where did it go? I had it sitting here just now.
What?
My eye I made
I
off the
didn't see
paper,
mine.
off the...
Maybe it's under here. Oh, right there.
Okay. Okay, you take a piece of parchment paper and your hot glue. You're going to make your eye, okay? Then you got your eye. Then you just take some paint,
Well, I glued mine in the back.
okay? And you're going to put the dot on the back side of black. Then when that dries, you take whatever color you want and dilute it down with some water and lightly rub over the back of the eye. That way it stays see-through. Then, after it's dry, on the inside of your mask, you can put a little bit of hot glue on each corner and push it into the back of the mask. That's how you get an eye. Okay, then you just take cardboard, flexible cardboard. I use a Pepsi box all the time, as you can see. You take a piece of cardboard, shape it how you want your witch's hat to go. Cut out the center so it'll go over her head, so when you go to put it on, you can hot glue it on and have something to hot glue to. Okay? Then you're going to take tin foil, you're going to crunch up, you're going to push it up through the cardboard. Then this tin foil is up here, you can shape it however you want your hat. Just make sure where you push it through on this side, you leave enough to be able to go around inside this circle and be able to hot glue it. And that's what's going to hold that hat. Then you're just going to take your paper and your water and your glue, and you're going to just slowly put your paper around your tin foil hat and down all around the whole box and on the back side here, so it looks like one complete uniform hat. Now after that's done, you'll paint it however you want your hat to be. Okay? And when it's dry, you'll put it on top of your witch and you'll glue it down. So, after your hat's all done, it's all papered in so you can't tell. Then you just paint it whatever you want. This is our shoe. Remember I was showing you how to build the shoe? This is ours. And we took little buttons and stuck on her shoe. And the little thread, so it looks like that's how she ties her shoe. But so, there you go. That's how she's done. The next step is my wife's going to finish painting her witch. Okay?
Finish filling it in.
And I'm going to finish building the shoulders, which she's going to take a piece of cardboard, which we already pre-cut. And then her head is going to glue it onto this piece, okay? Then we'll take material and put it around the cardboard to get so it looks like shoulders. That way,
You could just paint them too if you want.
when it's done, you have this flat piece here, okay? And this is where you're going to put your Velcro strips. This is how it's going to hang to the wall. So, that's where we're at the moment. I can tell you about my wife works on that. Oh, one more thing. Before I forget, the next step, remember I was talking about the back
It's probably still not directly out.
the back of the head. Okay, what we're going to do is double up some cardboard so it's yay thick,
Like what, an inch? Something like that. Like something like that.
and then you're going to cut it out to the shape of this so that you have that cardboard, and then you're going to put hot glue, then you're going to push that piece of cardboard inside this so that it's flush. And after that dries, you'll trim off any extra, well, the camera's backwards, or I'm backwards. You're going to trim off any extra. Then you'll take your paper and your water and glue, just like she's doing the seam here. And you're going to seam around that so it's got a nice clean edge all the way around.
Yeah.
Then you'll put just a bit of skim of mud on that, the paper mache mud, just like you're going to do on this paper bead. Okay?
Okay.
So next, she's going to work on the back of the neck, get that cardboard in to show you. I'm going to keep working on the hat, and then we'll come back and we'll show you the hat. Now she's got the cardboard in the back of the head, so it's nice, neat, and
Yeah,
clean.
and I'll have all this done.
And then we'll be down to painting, and then we'll paint everything, and we'll show you after that.
See you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Okay, so before I carry on with this ugly witch, you could always make your witch, by the way, super cute and cool. I wanted to show you how it will look, what I'm going to do to it. So I still have to finish the sides. My husband put the piece of cardboard there, glued that in. It was harder to do because, you know, our little mess up where, you know, I didn't know and I let it dry. But it's alright, it gives her character anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this clay that I have. It's just the homemade clay recipe, and I will link this in the description box below. I did put it, I didn't link it last time, but I did write it, put it there, so I'll put it there again in case nobody caught that. Anyway, it's just a baking soda and cornstarch clay mixture. And what I'm going to do, and you can do this also, with her chin and her nose, I built it out with the paper mache paste. I just filled it in with the knife, and then I used my brush, like my brush with just a little bit of water, and then I just brushed over it, like that. And after you get that dry, we use the heat gun, or you can let it sit. I'm going to take this clay, okay, and I'm going to roll it up because I want mine to have eyebrows. So this homemade baking soda clay seems to work really well with this. And I'm just going to make her some kind of eyebrows.
Don't forget to tell them to put the water on it first.
Yeah, and make sure if when you do this, after you push it on, just take your paintbrush and what I do is I just put a little water on my paintbrush and push it down, and it works good for me. So just like your edges like that. And that's kind of how I do mine, just like that. And see how it gives it that nice little seam? So, anyway, that's where I'm at. And when I get done, when I come back, I'll have this, hopefully we'll have it mounted to the shoulders, and I'll have this part filled in so you can't see that, and probably the shoulders on. Alright.
What's that? Stay on.
I guess my husband has something he wants to show you, so.
Okay. A quick little something I want to show you guys. It's so cool, and you'll be glad you made these eyes. Okay? So what I'm going to do is get the witch for my wife. I'm going to shut off the light.
Oh.
I'm going to use my camera for now, just for a light, to show you behind the back of the witch so you can see how the eyes light up.
I'll go shop that one. Here you go. You probably could see it.
Let's see.
Let me turn off this light just in case. Or do you want this on? Oh, you can see. Can you see it?
Can you?
Here.
I just wanted to show you guys this.
There you
See
go.
how your eyes will light up depending on the size of the little battery operated light you put in the back.
Yeah, get a higher lumens or whatever.
So that's why we took time to show you how to make the eyes out of the hot glue, and then paint on them like my wife did. Get up close, if he's here, you'd see that the eyes are green with the black pupil. It looks really neat. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys that. Okay, I'll let my wife go back to what she's doing, and we'll see you.
Okay, so this is where we're at, everybody. I finished the witch's face. We added some ears on it. Added a big old chin. Added some warts, and my husband made some glasses for it. So these glasses is just wire, and he did the hot glue for the center of the glasses, and then he's just kind of got some tape on them around there. This, I don't know if you all can see this, but the wire sticking out right is the warts is just wire, just little clips of the same wire the glasses are made out of. So right now my next step is I'm going to paint this. The ears are made the same way with the cardboard and a little bit of tin foil so I could shape them how I wanted, and then I just used some clay to make the wrinkles all over by her eyes and everything else. I used a little bit of water and the clay, and now I'm just going to paint her up. And okay, so I showed you I finished her face and I painted her up. So I did a skin color. You can do whatever you want with yours. Of course, you could do yours green, but since we did the last one green, we figured this time we'd do kind of a skin color, but I still couldn't help but put a little bit of green in there. I painted up her warts. These, as I said, are just wire. Anyways, so the next step, I'm going to put some yarn on her head for her hair, but all I have is off-white yarn, so I'm going to try to spray paint some of that yarn. I don't know how that's going to work, and I wished I had something other than yarn, but that's what I have on hand, so that's what I'm going to do. So after I get the yarn on, I will come back and I'll show you what her hair looks like. Okay, so I wanted to come back and show you what the hair looks like. So I did go out and spray paint this off-colored white yarn I had. I used black, green, and gray in it. I could have maybe took all these strands apart first, which I thought of, but I mean, that'd be really hard to do now. They're kind of glued together with spray paint. But anyway, this is her hair. I didn't go all the way to the back because her hat's going to be on her. Remember, the light goes right here. So anyway, she's looking pretty spooky. This is the first project I've done that actually freaks me out. Anyway, let me know if what you guys think. And I will be back and we will show you what her hair, what she looks like with her hat on, and see if we need to add more hair to the back. So we'll be back in a little bit to show you that. Alright, see you.
Okay. So here we are.
Here we are. Hi everyone.
So we showed you how to build the hands. The hands are all complete. This is how we did
Really
ours.
close to there. See the nails? I did some cardboard and I put some clay on them, and then we just painted them with some nail polish, actually.
Yes. And then here's the apple that we did. And on ours, we put a little spider.
He's scary.
And this apple will sit inside the hand. Okay? Then, if you look on the back side, see how it's just a flat cardboard, how he's telling you how to build it? This is where you're going to put your Velcro,
Backing. You know what? It's
what are those strips called?
Velcro backing. But it's like the command strips, only you get those at a Home Depot.
Yeah.
Because in Home Depot they have a stronger, I don't know, maybe
The Velcro strips are really strong, so it'll hold this to the door, your wood door or your glass door.
It's black Velcro strips, and we got them at Home Depot.
Okay.
I can't remember the brand of them.
Here's the other hand, just so you can see. Okay, something else I wanted to show you guys is, remember how we took the hot glue and then just put it on parchment paper to make your eyes, okay? And we decided to make a little spider out of the hot glue, and then I had an idea and it worked out using girls' fingernail polish. Makes your spider, you probably can't tell what's in this, but
it's way shinier.
yeah, it's way more metallic-y looking, more.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is, here's the hat that I showed you guys how to do, remember, the cardboard and the tin foil and the paper. Here's ours finished. We're going to put this little spider somewhere on our hat. I'm not quite sure yet, but we're going to hot glue it somewhere on here. Okay, remember, there's the back side, and you see the tin foil. and they cut out so that when you can glue it onto her head. And you can put the glue right along the edge here, and then push it down on top of her head. And just hold it for a minute, you know, until it sets, and then the hat will be glued on.
I'm showing that.
Okay, I'm
That's
just
the shoe again.
okay. And here's your shoe again. Remember, I showed you how to build this. And it's just the paper, see, and just painted. And we found some cute little buttons and stuck on ours. Okay, now my wife's going to show you the witch
Again.
and show you how we put a backing on it and what she's going to do next on that.
Okay. So, you seen the nails, right? And that, but check these glasses out. I mean, look at that. Hot glue and some wire. And they're all, I'm going to put them on for you. Check this out. They almost look real, huh? But you can't see anything through them, I'll tell you that. Anyway, so they're going to go on the witch. You put them on and I'll show you. Okay. See that? She looks like she's a smart witch now.
And you can tell her how we build them?
Yep, I already
Glasses?
did that.
Oh.
Yep, and
Okay.
so really where we're at, because I already showed you the witch, really where we're at is this backing. So we hot glued the backing onto the witch. These are going to be her shoulders. See, here's the back of it.
Oh, and she'll put a couple screws actually.
And my husband put
for extra
a
safety.
couple of, screws in there for just to hold it even better so that her head wouldn't fall off. Anyway, and this stuff is strong, believe me, you can go ahead and do that. So we are now, like my husband said, around the hands and around her head, we are going to put, here's her hand again. You guys check out those nails. I did nail polish on that too. And I did some veins on the inside. So, anyway, this will be really cool. So I'm going to show you the material we're going to use to wrap around. So this is just some black, you know what this is? Weed barrier, okay? That's what it is. And it's we had this laying around, so we're going to use that to wrap around this part. So we're just going to make it look like, you know, she's got some clothes on there that she's coming through. So anyway, we'll be back in a minute to show you the rest.
Okay. Here's our finished witch.
The finale.
The finale. Okay, here's her hand holding the apple. Here's the shoe that we built.
Yeah, this way we set up so you guys could like picture it. We don't have this one hung because we already have the other one on the door. So we figured
We just sit this one out on the table and just show you.
this is what it would look like on your door. Like it would be coming through. Maybe
We
if
got
you
so many props that we can't hang them all. We just wanted to show you how it was done. Because here's the one we showed you that's
coming through the door.
it's coming through the door. We hung on the door. And then we thought you guys might like this build, so we went back through and built another one step by step to show you.
This one definitely has more detail in it, I think. But
And like I said, this one we made the glasses and we showed you how her eyes light up.
oh, show them her hat. Here, I'll tip the hat forward a little.
And there's her hat. See?
Spider.
And you just glue the hat on top. We just didn't glue this one because
Yet, yeah, we didn't glue it yet because we're not using
we're
it.
not going to hang this one.
But yeah,
So,
the veins are just I done out of clay. I think I
okay.
explained that before.
Remember the back of the hands? Remember how we showed you how to make the flat prop? Here's your hands. There's your flat prop. And that's where you're going to put your Velcro. That's where you're going to put your Velcro strips.
Definitely get strong ones. I mean, they do have command strips, I think, that will hang.
Yeah.
So you just need to get ones that will hold it.
See, and here's the
hold it
back of the hand, the other hand. See, so you have something to put your Velcro strips to. Same thing with the foot. See how it's flat? And the back of the witch is the same thing. See that
Yeah.
that part that's actually her shoulders and
Let me
stuff that's
hold
got
this
the
up to
material?
window.
That is so you can put the Velcro strips on the back of that too, so you can
Yeah,
hang
let
her
me-
on the window.
So she like I'm just gonna show you.
Okay,
the
honey, so
hand.
grab the witch's head.
Okay, well let me show her the hand.
Okay, so
So
here's
see how the hand would be like it's coming through this side? And then let me get the head and the other, see if I can hold the head up there. Believe me, you guys, if I had more Velcro strips, I would just hang this one for you, but we're out of the Velcro strips, so sorry about that. But we do have a lot of props hooked too. See, and
Okay, then you just tip her hat where you want and just,
wherever you want it, like you could tip her hat a little back,
like
however
that.
you want it.
Yeah, however you'd like to hang yours.
And then, like her little foot, see, it would look really neat because since we spent all this time, I've just got to show them how this
how
would
it
go.
would look.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So-
here's how the two hands would look.
Well, I've got the hand, the other hand I showed him. So here's the one hand. See, it would kind of go like, whoop.
That holds the apple. My wife likes to drop stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little bit that way.
She's a little klutzy, but it's all good.
It's all good, you know. So there's her hand. So we would put that like on there with Velcro, and then the foot would be down right below it. So like she's trying to come in and say, would you like an apple? Let me in, and I'll give you this apple. Even though it's got a spider on it, but you know. But that's kind of how we did ours.
So there you guys
Show them
go.
your cute little brooch thing, okay? So she looks like a scholar, right? She was like a professor, I don't know. So the little brooch thing he made out of
A little piece of wood.
these little wood things we got at a thrift store. Okay, a whole bag for like $1. I don't know.
And we painted them with fingernail polish because
Yes.
it worked better. So when you go to do that, make sure you put the clear over the wood pieces first.
If you do wood, you could do it out
If you do wood,
You could do it out of jewelry.
or it'll suck in the paint. Or you could use real jewelry.
Whatever
but we
you
just
want, I
happened to
guess.
have these wood pieces and it worked out perfect. for
Did,
that.
and you could use. Maybe you don't even want one on your.
Oh.
You know? Who knows?
See how it worked really good, the fingernail polish over hot glue on this spider?
I'll tell you one thing, this weed barrier material is easy to paint and stuff and easy to hot glue down. So just so you know, a little tip if you want something like that, you know, super easy to paint on and everything, and it seems to glue flat. So
Yes. Like I said, the Velcro strips, that way you could take it down each year and store her so she doesn't get damaged. Oh, one other thing, our props we set up inside the house, and I forgot to tell you guys on all the props we built, especially this one, if you're going to hang it on your door outside, definitely put some clear or some kind of protectant over it
you have to, or else it'll
so she doesn't get damaged.
Because if this kind of paint gets wet, if you haven't worked with acrylic paints, if it isn't protected with the clear coat, it'll run off if it gets wet. So it's really not too great in the weather. I mean, this would be fine, I think, on your front door, but just, you know, I wouldn't put it like, of course you're not going to put anything, I don't know why you would want to put it other than a door, right? So, but yeah, just protect it with some clear coat. So,
Okay. Well, there you go.
okay guys, we
Bye.
hope you enjoyed our video.
Hope you can see me. Bye. Until the next time.